Hello. In this video, we're going to look at an application. So we want to let a equal 1, b equal 2, and so on and so forth, all the way down to z equals 26, because there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So we want to use the function f of x equals x cubed plus 1 to encode a message. And the message is, of course, math is fun, because everyone knows math is fun. Then we want to find the function that will be used to decrypt the message. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to encode the message. We're going to say math is fun, because we all know it's true. Anyway, what we want to do is we want to figure out what x value should we use for each one of these. Notice that the x value will just be the numbers that correspond to each of the letters. M here is 13. A here is 1. T is 20. H is 8. Oops, it should be blue here. So again, M is 13, 1, 20, 8. I is 9. S is 19. F is 6. U is 21, and N is 14. Awesome. Now here's the thing. While this is somewhat okay, if you gave someone this, they might be able to figure out, well, this could be the 13th letter of the alphabet, the first letter of the alphabet, the 20th letter of the alphabet, and so on and so forth. So we want to make this a little bit more difficult to figure out. So what we're going to do is we want to figure out what is f of x. In other words, we're going to take this 13 and plug into the function here to figure out a new number. So 13 cubed is 2197, plus 1 to be 2198. So that tells me, let's use actually a different color here. Let's use purple. So f of x, that 13 is actually going to be 2198. Now for the 1 cubed is 1, plus 1 is 2. For the t, which was 20, plug in the 20, you're going to get 8,000, and plus 1 would be 8,001. And then for the h, do the same thing. We get 513 in total. For the 9, we get 730. S is 6860. F, that gives me 217. U is 9262. And N is 2745. There we go. So we'll figure out math is fun that way. And this is a decent way of, hiding this information from someone in class or something like that, because for some strange reason, people think that it's weird to enjoy math. I don't know. I mean, you all know that math is fun, so I don't need to hide that fact from you. But for those weird people that don't like math, we need to hide it from them. Anyway, here's the thing. We want to be able to actually determine a message that was sent to us. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how can we decode the message from this without knowing that someone was telling us that, but we have agreed upon beforehand the original function. Well, that means that you just have to find the inverse function. So to find the inverse function, notice that f of x here was x cubed plus 1. That means that we need to replace f of x with y, and then switch all x's to y and all y's to x, and solve. Subtract 1 means x minus 1 equals y cubed. Cube root property means the cube root of x minus 1 equals y. So y is simply the cube root of x minus 1, which means that f inverse of x is the cube root of x minus 1. Fantastic. Now, to get back to the original, all we have to do is take the 2198, plug it in for the x's here. So 2198 minus 1 is 2197. Cube root of 2197 is simply 13. So taking that, plugging it into the f inverse of x, that gives us 13. Taking the 2, that'll give us a 1. Taking the 8001, that'll give us 20. Taking the 513, that gives us 8. Plug in the 730, that gives us 9. 6860 will give us 19. 217 will give us 6. And 9262 is 21. 2745 is 14. And once we know that, 13 is M, 1 is A, 20 is T, 8 is H, 9 is I, 19 is S, 6 is F, 21 is U, and 14 is N. There you go. Now, that is an outstandingly, astonishingly simplified form of cryptography. This is some of the most basic form of cryptography that was ever devised. The encryption that is used for your electronic devices and computers and everything else is far more advanced than this, far more. And so please don't think that this is actually what your electronics security is based upon. It is not, I promise you. But the overall idea of being able to find an inverse of something is actually still part of it. It's just in a much more advanced way. Alrighty. Well, I believe that's it for this particular video. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun.